it's that time of year, and the October caddis are definitely out and about. And since we're going to be steelhead fishing, this is more of an old style pattern, kind of tied up in the October caddis colors. I'm going to start off with a Gamakatsu T10 8H upturned eye hook, and we're going to be using the Ultra Thread 140 in the burnt orange. So again, like we did before, we're going to start back where the bent eye wire ends right here, and we're going to do again a kind of a sparse and a short body, because water conditions are that dictate kind of sparse fly. So we're going to take that thread base back to just about to the point of the hook on top like that. Next, we're going to tie in our butt or tag, and we're using just some orange floss. And secure that in there pretty good. And put a half hitch in there just to kind of keep it in place till we're done. You want to make sure your wraps are good and tight. And we're not going to put a lot on there, but enough to be seen. Just tie that off. Well, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to tie in our ribbing, and we're using small gold oval tinsel. Again, we're not going to need a lot because there's not much to the body. And we'll get that tied in next. For body, we're going to use ice dub in the rust color. And we're not going to make it too big. Again, we're just going to kind of tie in a sparse body. And we're going to run that up close to the eye. Alright, next we're just going to wrap our tinsel in, our ribbing. Yeah, do that a little differently. There we go. We're just putting enough to segment the body up a little bit. And what we're also going to do is kind of rough that body up just a little bit. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our hackle on. Okay, next we're going to tie in the hackle, and we're going to use Mallard barred flank in the wood duck color. And I already kind of prepped one of the hackles, and only need a sparse amount, so I took off one side. I'm going to tie it in by the tip. And don't worry about trimming that excess off, just bend it back. And my fingers aren't nimble enough, so I use a pair of hackle pliers. And again, we're just going to wrap that around, and so we kind of get it to go back over the fly. And trim off the stem. Okay, the next thing is we're going to take our squirrel tail, the red natural. We don't need a lot. Because you don't need a lot. Again, it's a sparse fly. Okay. I'm going to pluck out the fuzz in there. And the other thing I do is I use a hair stacker to try and even up the tips a little bit. And kind of pull out any short ones there. And your wing's only going to come back to just about the hook tip. And I'm going to tie that in. A couple loose wraps, and then tighten it up. And I usually put a couple wraps behind the wing itself. And then trim off your ends. And this is where you want to kind of clean it up, because you want your head to transition properly when you're done. Alright, the last is a couple strands of copper crystal flash. You don't need a lot, you just want a couple just to catch their eye. And basically what you're going to do here is kind of one on each side of the wing. You don't need a lot of flash on these. Alright. Tie that off there. Turn off the tags. Okay, now we're just going to clean up the head, finish it off. Trim up any loose that you have. And whip finish. And then we're just going to coat the head with this Loon UV clear fly finish, the flow, the real thin stuff. Give it a nice sheen. Hit it with the light. There you go. Got an old school October Caddis Steelhead with a wet fly. I want to trim up a little bit there, and we are good to go. Works real good in October, September, and sometimes, depending on what the weather's like, even to the 1st of November.